Hey guys, this is Gabriel Feliciano, and let's talk. Um, Referring back to the last week's readings regarding imperatives, I ever since I was young, my sister would make me go to these like little conference thingies and also like sign up for all these programs regarding like social issues. So I'm really like used to the idea of social justice. So like we have in SF we have this thing called the Filipino Community Center, and like growing up I would just spend so much of my time there. Like my sister would go there, like when she was younger. So like when I when I was of age, like people already knew me like around the area. So I'm already like I've already been raised to kind of be outspoken in these situations. So like that was like especially like a lot of the issues that Filipinos face, like regarding like stuff like immigration and like legality, really me like especially like because of my experiences with my family, because my family like I'm myself I'm a second generation Filipino. I've always been very outspoken about these issues. Um, I think because of like relating this back to class, like immigration is just one of those things, especially like um where I'm working where I'm um doing my community service at right now with Sacred Heart. They have us like a focus on immigration. Like we're in San Jose, and that's like one of the biggest issues out right now, right? It's such a controversial issue, but I think like because of my connection, I really wanted to help these people, right? So, and like, oh, sorry about that. Like relating it back to like me like always being young, like or when I was young, like I think some of the formative moments that helped me were we would be brought to like places like City Hall or like the San Jose State University campus, and we'd go out and like speak out in public. And like when you have a crowd around you or like are in like a chamber of City Hall, like any of those like situations, and especially like if you're like being heard by like a large group of people, it kind of like like as a kid it gives you something. It gives you like this sense of like importance in like what you're saying, and like your thoughts are being heard, especially because like when you're a kid, like your parents don't really listen to you. So like when you have these group of strangers literally listening to you and like agreeing with what you are saying, it's like a really good like it's like a really like it gives you so much confidence, right? And it makes you feel like so heard, which I think a lot of kids like really like needed, you know. So I think that's like kind of something that helped me like form who I am now. Um, Something that really motivated behind this too was like expanding on it was I think the push that my sister had on it. My sister was like a kind of like a second mom to me. Like my parents are always gonna be like at work or like like just like doing stuff like doing things to help us survive, right? So I think my sister having this push on me really like helped me like not internalize it, but like really embrace it, because like oh like if my sister does it I want to do it. But then also like I learned that like I really care about these issues, right? Like not only is it an influence from my sister, but like just like like when you're a kid and like you're not worrying to like survive or like pay bills, it really is one of those things where it's like, oh, I could do something about this. And I'm not saying that like as an adult we can't do anything about it, but like we have so much like things that are like worrying and pressing us, like like bills, like rent, like all these other like like combining factors that kind of push us towards away this aspect. But like when you're a youth, like the whole like thing of like youth is like rebellion, you know, so you want to rebel against the system. But then like I think this was like my sister put me in something that's like a lot more like constructive. So that's how I really got like introduced to this, and like was something that's like more of a motivation. Um, what relationships this created and factors that guided this. I think this is joining programs like these really helped me, and that like it gave me like valuable mentors and like friends and peers that I could like rely on. Um, Sometimes like if I'm going through like a rough patch in my life, like I'll talk to some of my mentors and like they'll like tell me like they've been through the situations I've been through. So like and like they still care about the same situations I care about. So it's like it's really assuring and affirming that like I have like-minded people like within like a moment's like email or a phone call. Like, and I think that's great because it's like not a lot of other people have like a support system like that. So I think that was great. Like some of the like connections I made over the years. Yeah. Um, Something that has emerged from my connection to the involvement. Um, I think something that emerged from my connection to this is just like how it changed my personality so much. I think when you just like when you've been involved in like that type of stuff for so long, it just makes you like so much more outspoken at like to your detriment, kind of like, oh, sometimes I'm way too outspoken and like I sound a little bit too crazy about an issue. So it's like people are like, dude, like like chill out, or like sometimes I bring this into like regular conversations, and I'm like, yeah, I'm happy for it, but it's like kind of ingrained in my brain. Like I'm even to my friend, like sometimes like my like views like will like be very different than like some of my friends who are more like who have more like conservative views. So I tend to like like I bring the argument to them. So yeah. What are some takeaways from the lessons about the experience? And remember, as you enter this community engaged learning experience, um, tying this back to the community engaged learning experience, like the fact that like the people I'm working with, Sacred Heart, a lot of their specialties are like working with like people who are like poor and people who are immigrants, and just relating that to my family. I grew up both of those things, right? I grew up poor, and I grew up not an immigrant, but like I'm a second generation Filipino. Like a lot of my family are immigrants, so like I have like such a like I have a deep emotional investment into this because of like the people around me, right? Um, and I think that like that helps a lot in the work I do because it's mainly the fact that like the connection I have to these people. And while I may have just met these people, I think like sometimes like where like you when you click with people, and I think these are the people I really click with, and I like people I really want to help. Um, and then I hope like something I hope to embark with from learning with this is like not only like relevant like job experiences, but I hope to make like connections along the way. I think connections go a long way, and I hope that like maybe further down the line I could work with Sacred Heart again. So it's like if I ever get like a job in like what I want, I really want a job in like speaking for representatives, right? I think if I'm able to like work with like people like Sacred Heart or like my in my hometown the Filipino Community Center, I think that would be like such a like big like goal in my life to like achieve, like being able to achieve some sort of like social justice. And I think, yeah.